Hi, I'm Rapalina.
And I'm Becky.
We're realtors out of the Philadelphia area. So you're ready to buy your first home? Exciting times.
Exciting and potentially nerve-wracking. Don't fret, we've got your step-by-step guide to point you in the right direction to buy your first home.
Step 1, start gathering a down payment. The somewhat obvious first step is to save a nice sum of money for your down payment. But how much do you actually need? Ideally, a down payment on a mortgage should be 20% of the home's price to avoid its added fees. But if you don't have that much of a down payment, don't worry. A mortgage down payment can be as low as 10%, 5%, or even 0% for certain types of mortgages like VA or USDA loans.
Step 2, check your credit score. In addition to having a down payment, a first-time homebuyer will need a decent credit score. This 3-digit number is a numerical summary of your credit report, a detailed document outlining how well you've paid off past debts, like for credit cards and college student loans. In turn, the lender will use this info to decide whether or not to lend you money, as well as how much and at what interest rate.
Step 3, get pre-approved for a mortgage. Before you head out home hunting, you should seek pre-approval from a lender. This is where you meet with a loan officer, ideally a few mortgage companies. Keep in mind that the mortgage pre-approval is different from a mortgage pre-qualification. The pre-qualification is much similar but much more general. Pre-approval is more of a pain since you'll have to provide tons of paperwork, but it's worth the trouble since it shows you have the finances to buy a home and how much you can afford.
Step 4, find a real estate agent. Okay, so now you're at the point where you start to find your agent. Most first-timers will want a great real estate agent, specifically a buyer's agent, who will help them find the right houses, negotiate a great real estate deal, and explain all of the nuances of home buying along the way. The best part? Typically, the agent's services are free to home buyers because the seller pays the sales commission. Realtor.com has a great platform to find an agent for your first-time needs. Just go to www.realtor.com/agent connection/.
Step 5, go shop for a home. This is the fun part. After a little window shopping, pick out some of your favorite places and ask your agent to set up appointments to see them in person. Since the sheer number of homes can be overwhelming, it's best to make a list separating your must-haves from those features you'd like but you don't really need. Do you really want a new home or do you want a fixer-upper? Then you can whittle down your options.
Step 6, make an offer. Found your dream home? It's time to make an offer to the seller. But no matter how hot the market is, make sure to put in an offer you are comfortable with. Remember, your offer will look particularly good to a seller if you can pay cash, you've been pre-approved for a mortgage, you don't have a house that must be sold before you can afford to buy, and thus can be flexible on timing.
Step 7, get a home inspection. This is the point in the process when a home inspector comes to check out the house from top to bottom. Think termites, faulty foundation, mold, asbestos, etc. Sure, a lot can go wrong, but rest assured, most problems are fixable. Step 8, get a home appraisal. Even if you got pre-approved for your home loan, your lender will want to conduct a home appraisal. This is where the lender checks out the house to make sure it's a good investment. It's similar to a home inspection, but for your lender.
Step 9, head to closing. The closing process brings together the parties who are part of the real estate transaction, including the buyer, the seller, mortgage representative, title officer, and others. Closing is the day you officially get the keys to your new home and pay all the various parties involved. That will include your down payment, closing costs, and loan processing fees. Closing costs can be sizable, averaging from 2% to 7% of the home price. Step 10, time to move in!
You did it. Congrats on the long list of things to do to get into your first home.
After all the steps, here are your keys. Now it's time to enjoy.